That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, welcome to the People's Weekly on peoplesradiounited.com. I'm Tim Bass Buzz, and I'm here with Canadian Glenn. I hope all our levels are good. What's up, Glenn?
Buenos dias.
Yeah. See, on Spreaker, it always looks like I'm peaking, so that's weird. I might be peaking.
Or you likely may not, and Spreaker's just bogus that way.
Yes, and to the people on Twitch today, we have a whole new groovy video. Hello, Celeb Scoder in the Twitch chat. You know, Celeb's a hero.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like a hero. He's single-handedly doing all the work on the union, basically. So that's awesome, and it's also coming soon again. But we're going to do it right this time with a website.
Right on.
Yeah. And if anyone doesn't know what the union is about, go back, you'll find shows about it. Just hashtag you are the union.
So Spreaker changed their homepage too when you go to a show.
What do you mean? I can't, I just see the desktop.
Yeah, I know, you just see the studio, but yeah. It's a little different than it was. They've changed it. You don't see the chat area at all unless you sign in. And then the sign-in page is different.
Man, always changing stuff. So yeah, we got started like super late today. I'm still checking levels while I talk, so if I pause, that's what I'm doing. Hey, somebody wants to contact me. So yeah, y'all got the new video on Twitch, and I'm starting to put these videos on YouTube too, so I'll get it right eventually. So yeah, I hear Canada's nice this time of year, Glenn.
Nice is rather subjective. In what way?
Well, let's see. You got racists beating people up in wheelchairs, and we got racists and, well, religious wackadoo zealots shooting up places. So I guess Canada's nice this time of year, right?
Just kind of the same way. We're just a little bit behind the U.S. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, buy more guns. You'll get here quick. You'll be just like us.
Well, our Republican Party is trying to basically eliminate as many gun laws as they can. They keep promising it if they get in. They can't seem to figure it out that that's part of the reason they're not winning, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Last week, a Christian extremist, probably racist, misogynist, went and targeted Asian massage parlors and murdered 8 people. And this week, some dude, supposedly Muslim, mentally ill, possibly. That's everyone gets the mental ill thing. I don't trust that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't know, but yeah, he had a whole bunch of stuff on his page. Both of them, man. That religion is dangerous and it's sick. Oh, happy Atheist Day today, by the way. I just call myself a non-believer, but you know, to all the other non-believers who call themselves atheists, happy day.
Yeah. Call it Happy Intellectual Freedom Day. But as far as these 2 shootings, what's the common thread? Religion.
Definitely.
Religion behind their mindset, their groupthink. So yeah, that's not really a surprise, but
I mean, religion, I don't know if it causes mental illness or mental ill people gravitate toward it, at least in what I see in the streets out here.
yeah,
The more mental ill somebody is, the more crazy they are, they start connecting things to some religion. And it like seems like nonstop. You'll see some person really mentally ill on the bus yelling at nobody and screaming Bible verses sometimes. Sometimes see them screaming at somebody's not there like they want to fight, but if they come and talk to you, there's always stuff about demons or this or that, depending on their religion. Their
yep.
monsters, boogeymen, and good people are different. Yeah, there's
Not to
people
be
that are.
confused with Q.
Yeah, that's a whole nother bag of wax. But it goes into. I mean, I think if you're already,
The
well, I think they did a study.
yeah, the
Most of the
Venn
Q people,
diagram. Yeah.
yeah, most of the Q people already had a religious belief, which made it easier for them to get all into there. And it doesn't hurt, like we said before. You got these big time preachers that these people trust and think are, next down. When God speaks to humans, He talks to these people, and they're pushing these theories and political parties and everything else, and they need to get their tax exempt status taken for that too. By the way, I don't know why that
Well,
never happens.
here's just a friendly reminder. Most of the multimillionaire evangelicals all insist that they are next to God. That's where they get their authority from. You can translate that into Arabic. It's called Ayatollah. Like
Yeah,
all them scary leaders in Iran that are named Ayatollah
or
Khomeini.
or Ayatollah, as we say here.
Well, yeah, I say it like an Arab. Sorry, but yeah,
No, I'm
exactly.
just
It's the
saying it for
same
anybody
goddamn
that
thing.
I was just saying for anyone who might not know.
Same goddamn thing. And it ain't done the same way on TV and PayPal. But I'll tell you what, those people are living a similar lifestyle where they are compared to how the American evangelical cult leaders live in
Yeah,
luxury.
these they got these books, and they're really kind of they're written in a way where you can kind of like make it mean anything you want to mean by taking it out of context or keeping it in context in a lot of cases. And they're full of violence, they're full of hatred, and they got those lovey-dovey, nice help people out. Don't let anyone never let anyone be injured and all that verses. But at the same time, it's telling you to murder and kill and do all this other terrible stuff too. And we're talking about the main big religions. I mean, I know there's all the Scientologists and the Mormons and all the other recent wackadoo cats in there, that believe all kinds of other crazy stuff, but they're not the ones shooting stuff up for their religion generally, in this country anyway. They're too
Well, I
busy
mean,
scamming people for money. Those people don't even have money to get guns in those religions. They're like giving it all up. So yeah,
yeah, it's just become another one of these immediate subjects that get thrown out into the discussion every time somebody snaps and murders a bunch of innocent people. What I notice about the Georgia incident is it's already starting to spread that, oh well, that's he was a fundamentalist and he was taking all his faith literally, and he's not allowed to have sex or even think about it for that matter. So everybody else is a temptress and they must be subdued. Well, that's one thing. But then you look at where this happened, and not only are there, you know, massage parlors, I would venture that they are probably just more rub and tug than anything, but right around them were strip bars where I'll bet you white chicks are on the stage, not Asians. So they're trying to lose the racial side of it and blame it on religion because they're confident that that'll get nowhere.
Dude, the white
Yes.
supremacists today, I've been looking at them a little bit when I had the chance. They're cheering this on. It was a Muslim. Ah, they're just so happy it wasn't one of them for once.
For once.
And it just blows my mind. Like, 9 people died. I'm not counting the cop as a person. So 9 people died in that. And that's tragic. And it's disgusting, that you're like, we normally are the ones doing the mass shootings and terrorist attacks, but it was a Muslim finally. Finally. We've been waiting for this since a couple years after 9/11.
Well, the other thing that's missing is I don't see anybody saying, well, because now it's starting, you see it every time, because there's always some idiot who comes out and says he was a law-abiding gun owner. Yeah, until. And is
Yeah, it
anybody
didn't didn't
saying
he
that
didn't he
this?
buy the gun the same day?
Yeah, he did. But
So he was
they
law.
always.
I mean, let's be honest. They're right. He was law abiding for a couple hours.
But I mean, this is the thing. They always come out with this one right away now. Well, is anybody saying that this Muslim dude in Colorado was a law-abiding gun owner until he went in that supermarket? No, they won't use that for him.
They're not saying he had a bad day or making him look younger by showing older pictures. I mean, older pictures of him or anything.
Yeah.
And as soon as he was identified, Fox News started putting it on in a big major way. They were barely talking about it before. It's crazy, man. It's like so blatant and obvious. Like, oh wait, it wasn't one of our people. Let's get on it and trash these Muslim terrorist bastards. What about the Christian terrorist bastard from last week? You didn't want to bash him too much. I'm just
No.
thinking what's fair is fair. I think they're all scum.
Well, yeah, they're
Anyone who's
all.
going to walk into a place and murder a bunch of people, I don't care. Because if you're going to say he's mentally ill, then how did he get a gun? Let's just say this guy that yesterday was mentally ill. How did he get a gun? Why does a mentally ill person have access to walk into a place with a gun and murder as many people as he wants? That should not be the case. And then NRA's
Agreed.
on here now on Twitter screaming, we will never register guns. We will never do this. I'm like, what? To register a gun is so bad for these people? I don't understand it.
Since
You
when
have to
does a
register a car. You have to do all kinds of other stuff. It's
well,
so dumb.
since when does a corporate lobbyist that's filed for Chapter 11 have nothing better to do but post bullshit on social media anyway?
Right
You
after.
know,
And they do it the most right after these attacks.
the way
Because,
all these rules are going with social media, it should be if you have a corporate account and you declare Chapter 11, your fucking account's closed. That's should be a rule because obviously
yeah.
you're insolvent. You can't run your business, so you don't exist. You're in Chapter 11. Goodbye. That's what it should be.
Yeah, I don't know. They so ridiculous, man. So blatant. Because I'm totally with them on the unregistered gun thing. I think we should give ghost guns to every black, every Latino, every Asian, every Native person in the United States so they can protect themselves from these possibly up to 70 million white supremacists running around. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. Plus, I mean, there's a lot of white supremacists voting for Biden now. They're all cool with it.
Well,
They're all good with it. They're just not as blatant.
you start talking about stuff like that, and then immediately I think about Sacramento in 1967. Everything was
Yeah.
cool until the Panthers showed up at the state capitol with long weapons. Then we just had to have gun control.
Yeah, we talked about that before. There was a whole lot of
Yeah.
lying going on and misrepresenting what happened by Ronald Reagan and the NRA. He was governor at the time. That's
Yep.
why I brought him up. Yeah, he's damaged California like he's damaged the United States. Still hasn't recovered. The dude is horrible. I mean, I wish Hinckley didn't miss. I really do. We'd be in a much better position. Speaking of which, all these terrorist attacks, I mean, it just seems like back when I was saying find the fools with the red hats and take them out, we could have saved a lot of people a lot of misery by just doing that. They were all in big groups together at one time. All the racists, all the Nazis, all the clans, all chilling together, and we didn't do nothing. We were going to fight them a little bit. We couldn't even get enough people to show up like that.
Yeah.
Those places should have been attacked in a major way, man. Y'all want to get together and have your racist rallies? Good. Watch your backs. But
Well,
no,
I mean,
we gotta love and have compassion for these people. They're just misguided.
well, the thing that the thing that gets me is it's always, or sorry, it's never consistent, even though the events are basically just replays of more and more and more of the exact same. But yet the descriptions, I don't know if they go out of their way to try and make every one of them sound somehow different, but they're not, because there's basic facts, and that's really all that matters, because it's no different than when somebody gets arrested for DUI. The issue is, how much did you drink and why did you have access to the vehicle? Those are the only questions that really matter. And that's why it's become a thing for establishments to get charged if they serve someone till they're obviously too drunk and then just let them drive away. Those are the only things that matter. The rest of it, oh, your wife left, your dog died, you lost your, none of that shit matters. The only thing matters is intake, access. That's it. Why can't we talk about mass shootings like that?
Because they have these gun manufacturers that use the NRA to lobby these politicians with a lot of money, man. Lots of money.
Okay, that's fine. But then how come the alcohol lobby doesn't try and pull this shit? Because they'd get laughed right off the face of the earth. Because everybody accepts that it's up to the individual to be responsible with their product. But yet for guns, we never hear that.
The alcohol lobby is huge, man. I mean, alcohol kills a whole lot of people every year.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the worst drugs. Heroin and alcohol, I believe, there might be another one, are some of the very few drugs that you can be addicted to and stop taking and die from that. That's how terrible they are.
Yeah.
But it's legal. And you got this jackass down south somewhere screaming, weed, if it's legal, your children will die on it. And blah. Yeah, I wonder how much money he's getting from these alcohol beverage lobbyists. I mean, they got stadiums in the names of these companies.
Yep.
Music. You go to a concert, who's it sponsored by 9 times out of 10? Some alcoholic beverage company. At least back in the day, it used to be.
Yep.
They can advertise. They can do everything. They're drug dealers, man. There's no difference. If you selling alcohol, you're a drug dealer. I don't care if you're the dude with his little wine, like, what is that? Some of these rappers got their wine collections and stuff. Drug dealers. Sorry. You selling one of the worst drugs. Why don't you get in the weed business, y'all? I mean, a lot of them are, but I'm just saying, it's just, it's a dirty, dirty game, man. It's like, how can you talk crap about these dope dealers selling drugs that kill people and you selling alcohol? You want to be honest about it? Be honest. It kills as many, if not more people than guns do in this country every year.
Yeah.
And I would wager on more, a lot more. But I don't have the statistics in front of me to back that up. But if someone looks it up, I bet you I'm right or close to it.
And they don't go down. That's the thing. I mean, it took until basically in the US, the 1990s, before people really started to give a flying fuck about the deaths from tobacco use. And that is what changed the game. You know, I mean, that's what just blows me away about the United States and this gun fetish. It's just, it's not hard to fix. It just takes will. And there is no will.
None. Not for that, no. Because too many
I
people
saw-
would lose money. I mean, like I said before, a long time ago on this show, we both did. if they stopped making guns right now, like it's illegal to ever make another gun, they still have warehouses full of them. They can still be selling for a couple years, maybe more.
Oh yeah,
It's not
quite a
like there's
lot
any
longer than that.
shortage of guns, especially in this
Well,
country.
the thing is, countries will pop up and then they'll just smuggle them in from outside the country. So I mean,
Man, it's
there's
2021. They'll just print them within the country.
or that too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing
I
tons of
mean, no,
printed guns all over the place now. Everybody has one. Like they're everywhere. Nobody got no legit guns anymore.
and yet you don't see that being talked about, do you?
A little bit. I mean, it's going to be the main thing because you know who's not getting paid from these guns.
Yeah.
It's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue, but it is an issue now. They're not making it as big a deal as it is. But you hear about it all the time. Unregistered ghost gun, this gun, that gun. Yeah, I mean, people are printing them. What did you think's going to happen? And honestly, that's I don't know. If you're just not going to have any real regulations anyway, then who cares how people get them? Like if you want
But
this country full of
that's
guns, I'd rather be building them themselves than buying them from some lobbyist manufacturer, NRA affiliate. Because it's the same outcome either way.
support independent business.
I mean, why not? For real. I mean, if that's the way it's going to be and everybody gotta have guns and there's no regulations, then let's really make it no regulations. But either way, let's cut the NRA and these stupid manufacturers out of it, man. They're the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that from that viewpoint for sure. And again, that goes back to the circle jerk of money that prevents any real movement
You,
on
you
the
know,
subject.
somebody was busted a few weeks, maybe a little while back in LA for stealing hundreds and hundreds of guns and selling them back. You know who that cop? Oh, there was a cop. I was going to say, you know who it was? And I said, you know who the cop was. He was an LAPD cop. He's no longer on Twitter and he's facing charges. But this is nothing new. They've been doing that forever. Back in the day, before people could just print guns and buy, ghost guns, the police would get guns, and then those same guns they confiscated would end up right back out in the streets. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, kind of like the CIA's done in Central America for 50 years.
Yeah. But more blatant and more on a local scale for me anyway.
Yeah. But this is the issue with all empires. All their dirty tricks eventually come home and they're put on their own people, and then that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, smokers in the chat. Cops are not people, smoker. I'm just letting you know.
Hey,
I lost
this,
the Twitch chat and bring it back up. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Celeb says excessive alcohol use is responsible for more than 95,000 deaths in the United States each year, or 261 deaths per day. These deaths shorten the lives of those who die by an average of almost 29 years, for a total
wow.
of 2.8 million years of potential life lost. That was in January 14th, 2021. That was written. So, yeah.
There you go. But yeah, like you said, it's legal. It's always been legal. It's a big lobby. It's a big circle jerk. What's the problem? Besides, everybody likes to talk about this fake bullshit about how marijuana is some gateway drug. Well, you want to talk about a gateway drug, it's fucking alcohol. Because what is the thing that is most accessible, that is the most consistent with lowering people's levels for, what they'll do and what they won't do? Alcohol leads that list, obviously. So you want to talk about a gateway drug, it's the one that's been legal forever, and people glad to pay money for it and use it. And, yeah, as long as the government gets their cut, And as long as enough people fuck up to generate income in other areas, like the judicial system, lawyers, cops, everything else, you know, your abuse of a drug is supporting the economy. Wall Street encourages you and will send you a coupon for a free 40 ounce.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
like, there's liquor stores on every corner. Every grocery store pretty much has a
yeah,
liquor section, alcohol section. You go into a pharmacy, they have an alcohol section. It's everywhere, man.
wow. Wow, they allow them to sell alcohol in drugstores down there?
Well, it's like a CVS. You go in there with like a lot of everything, but they have a pharmacy in the back you can go to, and then over
Oh,
to
I
one
see.
side or another, they got an alcohol section. It's like
Okay.
it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. I've been in states in the South where 10 in the morning you can get what they call a hand grenade. And you got these businessmen lined up, and it's like some kind of, it's in a, like, it looks, oh man, stop calling me. It's in, it's a scam, likely. It's in a little, little container cup that looks like an actual hand grenade. It's one of those things, you think, oh, they get these at clubs late at night or something. No,
Yeah.
this is just a little window in the middle of Louisiana where they selling these things all day and night. It's everywhere, man. It's still, at 2 in the morning they're supposed to stop selling alcohol. And some places do, some places don't. They be slick about it. Some bars lock people in and open up at 5. It's way out, man. It's everywhere. It's not like you just go into a bar and you get it. You go into restaurants, they have it everywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
That,
something
I mean,
that
imagine if it was like that with like cocaine or heroin.
you mean like in Colombia?
I don't think it's like. Is it like that in Colombia where you just go in a restaurant and they have a section where you can go and get cocaine? I don't even think it's like that there. It's like the alcohol is this drug that they're like, here, we want
But
everyone
the
to be
op
on this drug. We want your kids when they grow up to be on this drug. But we're going to
well,
pretend like it's not even a bad thing. We're going to blame weed and all these lower drugs. And mushrooms, by the way, are starting to be tested on, they're having clinical testing on mushrooms. So that's good. Hopefully in the future that'll work out
see,
and you'll be able to get some help for antidepressant and stuff for real. Like that really works.
yeah, well, again, this is just obviously part of the quote unquote reform way to do things because mushrooms have been legal in Canada this year. Starting this year, mushrooms are legal. So, I mean, it's not like we don't have research. Maybe you guys should
Yeah,
just ask to read what we got.
I
But
was
that would be too
talking.
fast. That would be too fast. And enough of the right people aren't in the position to be at the wholesale end of this new business. So we have to delay until we're set up to so the regular people make the money and then we're good to go.
Yeah, I should really learn to grow mushrooms in the next year or two. Um, but no,
Olive might be more valuable to you then. Fertilizer,
yeah. Do you What I was gonna ask you? It just became legal this year in Canada.
mushrooms, yes.
I see. I was having a conversation with somebody about that like a couple of days ago because a certain guy in the chat here sent me something where he can get them online delivered to him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Is that even legal?" I was like, "It must be because it's like a legit company." You know what I mean? It didn't
Yeah.
look like it was just some, I'm gonna bring them, slide them through kind of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't Craigslist, it wasn't Tor. Yeah.
No, it was like just like if you go to a delivery dispensary here, where it's like one of the legit ones. So I was
Yep.
like, "Wow, that's cool." I didn't know that. I was, we were going back and forth about that, and I could have just asked him, but I forgot. So I'm glad we cleared that up today. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
keep
I
losing the
mean,
Twitch chat, y'all. So if I'm coming back to it now.
And the thing is, too,
Or
like you
hang
talk
on,
about,
hang on. Sorry, Oregon. He's asking if Oregon had legalized everything. No, they supposedly decriminalized a lot of things,
yeah,
and I don't. I guess the difference between decriminalizing and legalizing is you can still arrest people for a whole lot of things if it's decriminalized because you can say, oh, you're growing and you shouldn't be doing that. You can just use it, or you can't be carrying so much this or that. Whereas legalized means it's just legal. Like, there's probably a few restrictions for safety or whatever and health codes. Maybe you can't grow it with poisonous chemicals or something, but other than that, it's pretty legal. That's my understanding. That sound right about that, Glenn?
well, the biggest thing about decriminalization is means you won't get charged under any state or federal law. Well, federal, you still could. This is the thing. So, I mean, what they're saying is the state of Oregon no longer considers it a criminal offense to have possession. But that doesn't mean they can't fine you. It doesn't mean they can't use it as the excuse to do more investigation. It just means that once they pull you over and you have your weed, then they'll go through your vehicle and see what else they can find. That's what'll kill you. So, I mean, they haven't really changed nothing. It's just that when you go to court, you won't have a charge for possession of marijuana. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. That's it. that's
But
uh,
what that really does is stimulate the market. So, if they're going to legalize the sale sometime in the near future, they're creating a market. They're generating interest in the product that they're going to legalize,
yeah.
which is just good business practice, I guess.
Okay, man. Yeah. They're just legal drug dealers, alcoholic beverage companies, in my humble opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the richest families in the history of Canada, the Bronfmans, built their fortune through alcohol. Uh, they owned the Smirnoff brand for a very long time, and they ended up being behind Diageo, who went into music and haute couture and all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
So,
alcohol
I
is
mean,
intertwined with music.
oh yeah, always has been.
Yeah, like the whole music industry. It really is.
Kind of go together like peaches and cream.
So yeah, the LAPD shot 5 people this week. I don't know if you knew about that.
Well, I guess they don't like to be outdone.
I don't like to be outdone. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
it's
that's
it's crazy, man. They're just, I mean, and then they're being smartasses all online to people who are concerned about why the hell did you shoot 5 people this week?
well, I did see the one tweet from LAPD public relations or whatever the fuck. The After what happened in Boulder, their first tweet was how they're all, in support of the first responders
Oh yeah, I saw
and,
that garbage.
not the innocent people killed, not any, no, it's all about us, our guys. Way to go, team. Like, that tells you so much
I mean,
about
look at
what
look at
the,
look at even the Colorado shooting. The first thing, the officer was shot. So many people, including an officer. Officer such and such. What a hero.
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't very much of a hero because he was the only good guy with a gun I saw over there, and he didn't do anything. He let one supposedly mentally ill dude take him down. Like
And if
like
he was the first, that means that everything that happened after that, but we're not going to hear that, in a different place, in a different time, that cop would be getting called out for failing his duty.
I swear I thought the dude was white. I think I'm peeking or something. I don't know. It just sounds really weird to me. But anyway, do I sound okay to you, Glenn?
Yep.
Okay, I'm messing with the fader here, twidgeting with the fader. Um, yeah, I mean, I thought it was really kind of. I suspected the dude was white because they took him alive and just shot him in the leg, right? But he wasn't. Oddly enough,
Well, I mean
that's
that.
pretty. I don't know. Is it like that seems amazing to me?
Well, have they said that they shot him?
I assume they shot him in the leg. I think it
Well, I
said
don't
something.
know. As far as I've seen, I haven't seen the police say that they shot the suspect. My opinion is he probably fucked up and shot himself, and that's when he tried to give himself up.
Oh, like a ricochet or something, or
Well, who knows? Or he
yeah,
just fucked up
yeah.
because it was his right leg. So,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
But yeah, I mean, somebody online said, well, obviously the guy's white because they took him into custody. And
I
I
saw the
said,
best tweet.
well,
It said, "Is he dead or white?"
yeah, that's pretty right there.
I mean,
But
okay, there always is an anomaly. You know what I mean? There's always an exception to every rule. But these people are like, "See, we told you these cops will save everyone." No, they don't. I think maybe him being armed. I don't know what it is. It's crazy because hey, I'm glad they pulled it off without having to murder him for because that would have been like they would have got away with that one easy.
oh yeah,
You know. So yeah, I
no,
mean,
but somebody was saying, well, apparently the first one killed was a cop, and they didn't kill him. And I was going under the assumption that he was white at the time, and I said, well, unless white guy kills white cop in front of other white cops, well, then that's where they draw the line.
yeah.
But anything beforehand, if it's a white gunman, it's, hey, come on, come out, man. Come on, cut it out.
Well, hey, I mean, it's better than I expected, I guess.
This is going to turn into a fucking circus. You know this. And they're going to try to disappear the evangelical fundamentalist whack job in Georgia.
Oh, definitely. And we had talked about this not too long ago. Maybe 6 months ago, I believe, when we were talking about all the terrorism coming up and stuff, and how it was going with the MAGA terrorists and everything. And I think we had said they're just waiting for a Muslim or an Arab to do something. They're just
Yep.
waiting to take the attention off of all their garbage because it's constant terrorists, white supremacist terror, white supremacist Christian terror, white supremacist. They're like, give us an Islamist, an extremist Muslim cat.
Yep.
They got one. I mean, I don't know how extremist he really was,
Well, from
but maybe
anything
he
I've
has.
said,
Maybe he's got stuff online that we haven't seen as more private, or hidden. I
well,
don't
from
know.
everything that people who went to high school with him have said, he's just a fucking hothead with a problem. And it's not like this is a new discovery. So again, you want to talk about systemic cause? Where the fuck is the mental health in high schools in Colorado?
Oh yeah, or anywhere else in this country, really, and not
Yeah,
just in high school. Like where our mental health is garbage. Thank you, Reagan, once again.
yeah.
Yeah, so much bad stuff we can thank this Reagan guy from, and there's people now that don't even remember it because they weren't even alive, and they're still suffering from his policies. How disgusting is that?
It's typical, is what it is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, I'm back on Twitter, Glenn. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Did you learn your lesson?
I did. I really did. So do you want to talk about the elephant in the room real quick to lighten things up, or you want to go on to more crazy, brutal topics going on?
No, I was just going to add that you learned your lesson. Now you know there are some words that you have to put a space in between the syllables, or else
Yeah.
the AI will pick you up.
See, I only thought you had to do that if I only thought you had to do that if you were like trying to monetize something.
Well,
That's probably why I
every
don't get any followers because of all what I say and what I use, and I don't care if I curse all the time. Like, I guess if you call them F bombs, I'm dropping F bombs for no reason, apparently, on everything. Oh,
uh,
I can say motherfucker. I say it all the time. And every tweet has it. It's just what I do. If I
yeah,
was Bernie Mac, they'd say that's awesome. But I'm me, so they're like, damn you, we don't like that.
yeah, that's a pretty good comparison, I think. Yeah, it's kind of the way the fucking do as
I,
we decide this minute, not as we say.
I wish Bernie Mac was on Twitter and still alive, or anywhere and still alive. Uh, anyway, man, let's talk about this real quick, this elephant in the room thing, because there's going to be major changes in my life coming up, evidently. I'm moving to Canada with my father. Did you know about that, Glenn?
If I read the chat, yeah, but
So yeah, Friendly Smoker has agreed to adopt me, kind of like Matt Gates did Nestor, and I'm moving to Canada, y'all, and I'm gonna go. He's gonna sponsor me. Maybe we'll start getting into politics in Canada. You never know. We could do a lot of things. So yeah, I just wanted to. I don't know how the chat devolved into that, but that's what
well,
happens when Smoker joins a chat.
well, you're gonna have quite the distance to cover, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, we're back into the Twitch chat. You know what really sucks is I could have both on a different screen, but I was too lazy, or I got back too late. I didn't hook it up.
Oh yeah, hooking up more stuff. Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Oh no, it's just an HDMI to I can put Twitch on one screen. It's not even like
Yeah.
anything.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Well,
Celeb said I can go with him every second weekend. They're
there you
gonna
go.
split custody. That's nice.
It's all worked out.
It's all worked out. Trust the plan.
Oh yeah, trust the plan. No shit, because
Now
there's
we're gonna
always a
have
plan.
now we're gonna have Fez listening to us. Glenn, why'd you have to say that?
Oh yeah, it's never happened until now. Yeah.
Oh
No one
my goodness.
expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
People's Radio United.
I always forget to do that every so often.
Oh well.
Yeah.
The sponsors will let you know if you don't.
Yeah. So wait, there was something else I was gonna bring up. What did you have anything you wanted to bring up? Because I definitely had something else I was gonna bring up, and I'm trying to remember it right now. I've been
Well,
running around like a fool, man. I haven't had time to get prepared for anything, do anything. It's just constant. Ah,
I just find it interesting how quickly the way Washington went from clown
thank you,
car,
thank you.
Shriner circus type stuff to the same old, same old. It just seems like there's just so many things that are happening that the federal government in the US is behind are indistinguishable from 2001 to 2016. Now, in 2021, we're pretty much right back to that same model. And yeah, it's just everybody except Fox and OAN and Newsmax, of course, are quite happy to fall into this little groove. It's almost like the last 4 years of Trump it's similar to, weekend warriors leaving the office and then going down to, say, the Dominican Republic or Curacao for a while and getting just fucking ripped 24/7. And then they come back home and they go back to their same old white bread jobs. It's kind of the metaphor that I see. It's just amazing how quickly so many people in media have just gone back to the old model. It's almost like they're all finally took a look in the mirror and are embarrassed the way they have behaved in those 4 years. And now they're just trying to forget it happened and go back to the old way. I don't know how long that can stick. I think, as we saw over the 4 years of Trump, the big dismissal and flick of the hand towards rising fascism was not a good plan. It should have been dealt with when it was found and noticed. I'm just wondering now if they think they can do the same thing because all those groups are still out there. I think the worst thing that could happen now is for, like we talked about, between the election and the inauguration, the big coordinated effort that all is calm, remain indoors, consume, we're back to normal, and it seems like it's working. I mean, what does it feel like to you? I mean, that's what I see from outside the US. What's it like there?
I mean, I don't even know, Glenn.
But I mean, shouldn't there be more information about all these fascists coming out now that they're not supported? But it seems to be fading.
It's just how it is. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, okay, it's like every single mass shooting, everything that goes on, every murder, every police murder, everything that happens when some terrible tragic stuff happens, it's just forgotten after so long. Every news story, they just move on and the people seem to forget. A small few remember. And then you have these paradigm shifts of like, oh, Democrats are cool with fascism and kids in cages now, and Republicans are pretending not to be. It's like you said, it's a clown show or a circus or whatever you said earlier.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how to describe it other than just hypocritical, hypocrisy, backwards, stupid, uneducated, ignorant people. That's the problems. I don't know what to tell you. It's like there's no Democrats, Republicans, who cares? Biden's doing horrible stuff, and now a whole new group of people are supporting it. I don't know why all of them aren't. I really don't. I don't know why. If you're cool with kids in cages, you're cool with constant deportations, you're cool with police murdering people, and then Biden comes in and the same stuff's happening, what's the problem? You should support that too. That's what you love, that fascism.
Yeah, I think this is one of the big mysteries of politics in NATO countries, in the G7. I mean, Republicans and Democrats, Democrats basically want to do the exact same thing. They just don't want people to talk about it all the time. And most of their supporters seem to go along with that. And in Canada, it's the same goddamn thing, with the Conservatives being our Republicans and the Liberals being our Democrats. And, back in 2015, Canada finally decided that our GOP had to go. We had to get rid of our goofball Trump. And we put in Trudeau. Well, there's a lot of metaphors there between Trudeau and Joe. They do the same things.
Yeah.
They just smile a lot more. They do a lot more realistic photo ops that tend to cater to the sharing emotions instead of the hoarding emotions. That's the only difference.
That's
And
the that's
the media here lets it slide.
well, that's the liberals' greatest power is the conservatives get in sometimes and do go extreme. So they're doing the same thing in a not so extreme without such extreme talking points. Looks like humanitarian efforts or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's what when Ford left and when Trump left and even when Bush left, the same thing happened.
Yeah.
You got these
That's true.
menaces in there, and then they leave, and there's somebody with a little smile, a little smarter, which is dangerous. Smart fascists are just as dangerous as dumb fascists, and maybe more because the people believe they're good. I mean, the people that support Trump aren't good people. They're not. They're not like, oh, we love humanity. We want to save the earth and the planet. We want the human race to live forever. We love animals. We don't want to harm anything. It's not that. The Democrats
Yeah.
have some of those people mixed in that just are fooled because their leadership is much more intelligent and slick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I'm gonna
Absolutely.
brutalize black people. I'm gonna put a black woman that's fascist in to do it. You know, I'm gonna brutalize Native people. Let me bring a Native person on. It's just how you do it.
Yes. Tokenism is real.
Yeah, and I'll be like, look, we're diverse. We're diverse. As we're doing the same crap, we're diverse. Or, you know, let's throw them a little bit of money or give them some substandard healthcare that's better than no healthcare, you know? Things like
Yep.
that. So
And
these
as
little
long
things, and
as
the people are like, oh, saved by these great saviors. And it's not. It's just they look better than the last horrendous thing. You know, it's like the analogy we had about the shitty toilet a week or two ago, right?
yeah,
If you have a toilet that is pouring over with crap everywhere onto the floor and you got to fix the toilet, there's no way to fix it, you have to replace it. You're not going to replace it with one that's broken and still full of crap, it's just not overflowing yet. That's what y'all are doing. Taking a shitty toilet and replacing it with a little less shitty toilet. Neither one works. Why would you want either one? But y'all settle for that.
cornflakes
And I
or
specifically
frosted
use toilets
flakes.
because that's how I feel about politicians. I could have easily used another analogy, but that just seemed more fitting.
Yep. Oh, that's just a different perspective. That's why I use cereal, because it's meant to be eaten,
So are politicians,
consumed.
I believe.
Well, they want you to eat their shit. I don't think they want you to eat them personally.
Oh no, I thought they were supposed to be eaten like cannibalism. Like, I mean, they got to do something for the people. At least they can be delicious. I don't know. They don't do anything else. If
They create
politicians and
revenue.
or cops were a race, I'd be a super racist.
Well, I think we're going from race into class.
No, I'm just saying because we touched on this last week. The I think it's Kentucky. I could be wrong. I had it. I didn't. Like I said, I don't have time to prepare lately, so I'm just kind of going off memory. Anyway, some state, I think it might be Kentucky, is trying to pass a bill through or a law through that it's illegal to say anything, whether it be verbally or making a gesture disparagingly against a cop, even at a protest. And we talked about it a week or two ago, and we just said it's directly against the First Amendment.
Yep,
Me getting
it
kicked
is.
off Twitter for threatening cops and Nazis, that's not against the First Amendment. Twitter's a private company. They didn't give me any. I mean, they should say, oh, it is a First Amendment thing because he's going against the government, but whatever. It's their platform.
Yep.
But like I told the dude that got me, one of the dudes that got me kicked off Twitter, I said to their face, so what's the difference? That's freedom of speech. And I know they was like, not on Twitter. Their lips all stuck to blue ass.
Well, I mean, that's the difference. That's the thing that way too many people forget where the lines are. That's the whole fucking point of the US Constitution and the Canadian Charter of Rights. This is what the government, the state, cannot do to you. That's it. That's the only place it applies. And I mean, these tards that whine about free speech to spread most of the time what in Canada is legally called hate speech, which is prosecutable in Canada, because we don't have freedom of speech. We have freedom of expression. And there are responsibilities with that, and they are very out front. You guys, you like to make your amendments 3 miles wide and 1.5 inches deep. But this is the thing. They want to say what they want to say, it's free speech. You say something that pisses them off, well, it's terms of service. It's just so team sport. It's ridiculous. But you can't have fascism without fables either. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about we do sponsors?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say one more thing real quick.
Good.
These people need to stop interviewing scum, Nazis, and QAnons and all that. It's not trendy. It's not cool. It's giving them a voice.
Mm-hmm.
They got a whole channel now. I don't know. I think it's connected to the Young Turks or the Young Turks people. I just keep seeing it popping up on my feed. Interviewing, debating QAnon believers, debating this and that. These cats are crazy. I've seen them on Twitter, some of them. They're nuts. So you're going to take somebody with a platform of 1 billion plus so many billions of views and multi-millions of listeners and say, oh, come on our platform and talk against us. It's insane, man. The things these people do for money, they cause the problem.
Exactly. It's all about the money. They're trying to
Sensationalism.
They're trying to wean off a new demographic to come to them. This is pandering of the highest degree is what it is, and it's for revenue.
And then they get to have their wonderful Comic-Con, their version of the Comic-Con they call Politicon, where all the ultra-right wing nut jobs get together with all the Democrats and the Republicans, and they go on stage and debate each other for a whole bunch of good promotion and probably get some nice paychecks and sponsorship and everything else. And both of them get to boost all their views, they get more people following them because of that.
Yep.
So you're basically helping the person that you say is the enemy that you talk bad about on your show. You're going to sit there cordially and debate with them for money, for publicity, for PR, for whatever the hell you're doing it for. It's ridiculous. All your audience now has access. They have access to all of your audience. You've just expanded them in a lot of cases. That's really irresponsible. And I don't think any of these people have any right to speak against, these Trump people or these fascists or these QAnons are crazy, when you're giving them a dang voice. You know what I mean? You're giving them a megaphone that they never had nothing like that. One of them was thanking dude. He was like, thank you for letting me on your show. And I'm thinking, yeah, you dang right. What do you have, 100 and something thousand followers and they got millions? Dang right you better be thanking them because they should be shutting you down. But they're gonna help you build. They're gonna help you build your fascist little empire. So yeah, thank you to you liberals out there. Thanks again, quote unquote, progressives. You hear Olive?
Well, yep. Well, before we get to sponsors, there's just one more thing I want to say about this part of the show. Boulder, Colorado, 10 dead. Lauren Boebert, Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
The Metro Atlanta
She's the
area.
congresswoman from there, right?
Yeah, the Metro Atlanta area, 8 dead. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Georgia.
Wait, but Bobert's the one that has all the guns, right? Just
Yep.
poses with the guns and the wall and the restaurant with the guns and all that. Yeah, in Colorado. Yeah, that's weird. What is she tripping on? I hear somebody trying. There's probably some people out there talking. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a weird coincidence, huh?
Yeah.
Quote unquote coincidence.
Well, I mean, this is it. This is just another. I mean, there's no way to directly tie this up together, but I mean, there's crazy people everywhere. Face it. Every state, every country, every place. There's people who ain't right. But how come people don't pop out of the woodwork like this in states like New Hampshire, who has very, very lax laws on expression, on weapons, on a lot of things? But, there's nobody who represents New Hampshire who's constantly jumping up and down like their head's cut off for attention and for polarization of the political world. It's impossible to put it on paper, but yeah, it's no accident that the people elected from these jurisdictions and the events that happen in these jurisdictions can't say they're completely unrelated, because they're not. No way.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, they're pretty racist. They're pretty horrible. And they're really bold about it. They're like little Trumps.
Yeah.
They're like, if Trump was a bird flying around dropping droppings on things, they would be his dropping on Colorado and Georgia, right?
Well, I mean, this is the other thing too. I mean, Boebert's a fucking idiot. There's no doubt about that. She's completely unqualified. But there's not enough being said about her documented criminal history. There's not enough being said about how she gets that as long as she continues to get a shitload of money to campaign on, she could probably stick around for a while. I mean, Michelle Bachmann, I think, was in Congress for 8 years. And 8 minutes is enough to see that this woman was fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But she kept getting money. She kept getting support. And Boebert knows it too. So she's just decided that the more batshit crazy and irritating I am, I guess the more money and support I'll get. And, it's just like she put in a claim for something like over 60,000 miles of mileage for campaigning in Colorado.
Yeah. Here's the thing about them, though, man. They're just she's gonna get a lot of money because she supports the QAnons.
Yep.
And those people
and guns.
But that's all. Yeah, but I mean the QAnon. She's big with that. Those people look up to her still because I don't know why, but they do.
Well, she's Palin to
And she
3.0.
Yeah, and she pushes a lot of their little agendas. And if she's in there and she can keep using those conspiracy theories, she could make herself the savior of Colorado and whatever else in their minds,
Yep.
These people are gullible. They're just sheep. They're the ones screaming, "You're a sheep," but they're, you know what I mean? But they're the dummies that just follow their leader.
I wouldn't be surprised if her long-term action plan that she didn't come up with on her own is for her to run for Colorado governor in about 2026.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Here's the thing, though. I was just thinking about this. She's QAnon. The QAnons love her, and they're like, save the children. But wasn't her husband exposing himself to minors?
Minors. Yes. Yes.
So I don't understand how these people. Trump possibly abused minors in terrible ways with Epstein. They
Yep.
love him. Just if anyone's QAnon like Smoker out here, I'm just kidding. And you know, like is QAnon just against the eating of babies? Is that what it is, or is it like all child abuse? Like when they say save the children, they just mean like just keep them off your plate, Democrats or whatever, or I
No,
mean,
they mean
do they mean when they say child sex trafficking? Are they talking about a drive-through restaurant, or are they talking about actual trafficking? That's the kind of stuff you want to know, right? Because their heroes are all like these terrible, terrible child abusers, child rapists, creepy, creepy
well,
people. And we've talked about Biden and them too, but we're on them right now because it's like how do you claim this is your main thing to save the children and all your heroes abuse children? Like really, I don't get that. How does that even work? The hypocrisy of it. And you know what? I'm gonna say one thing. I agree with that. What's her name, Boebert? On one thing. Where is AOC? How come she's not at the border crying and fighting for the kids all of a sudden?
well, of course, that's an easy one to make, but to paraphrase what you just described, the first rule of Dunning-Kruger Club is you don't know there's a Dunning-Kruger Club. I mean, that's a little perverted from the Fight Club, but I mean, you get the point.
Yeah. Oh man.
They are just, the cognitive dissonance is at a empirical level. It is groupthink. This is how you think, or you don't belong. And, that's how cults work. So, and just one other thing I remembered too, I guess this is a reflection of how selfish Americans have been encouraged to become. I saw a little bit, about a minute, of a live report from a Boulder local station yesterday, and it was at the fringes of the parking lot of that supermarket, and they were talking to some white guy, middle-aged, had a mask on. He said, yeah, my daughter-in-law and my grandchild went into the pharmacy, and that the gunman came in. They shot the woman in line in front of them. Then they ran, and there was a whole bunch of people that went upstairs into the supermarket, like the staff room area. They were hiding in a closet. And then the SWAT team came through the roof and found them. And he said, they're out behind the supermarket right now. I'm going to go see them. And then he said, when this involves your own, it kind of changes your mind. I don't think people should, be allowed this kind of firepower on the street. But
And what did this guy have? Didn't he just have a pistol? I don't know what he had. I'm just asking.
I don't think they've really said. But
Okay.
I mean, still, like, this is what it takes for somebody to get it.
Well, if it doesn't affect most people, they don't care.
Wow.
It's really disgusting.
Just such a lack of empathy or willingness to even understand other people's trauma is just amazing.
I guarantee you right now, there's some person, and I hate to say this, but I guarantee you that the odds are in my favor. There's some person out there saying, "Oh, this homeless situation is ridiculous. I want these dirty people out of my neighborhood. I don't care what happens to them." I've heard people say they should be firebombed. The police should just shoot them, whatever, right?
Yep.
And then COVID's happening now. Somebody's doing bad, and you know where they're going to end up eventually, unfortunately? You think they're still going to want people with no homes to be firebombed and shot and attacked by police all the time? Or do you think their mentality on that situation is going to change a little bit?
Well, yeah, they'll just put more qualifiers on it, but it's like, well, not me.
Yeah, I'm not on drugs. Got to deal with the drug. Yeah, I know, but it's just like you gotta look at everybody like they're you, even if you'll never be in that situation. That's good, but
Yep,
you gotta
that's
say
right.
it's always a possibility. Anything could happen.
That's true.
There's a whole lot of people out there that didn't think they were gonna be in that situation. There's people out there that used to be famous. There's people out there that used to be having a lot of stuff going on for them, and they're out there, and I know that for a fact.
Yep.
I've seen people that I guarantee you in Canada and people all around the world know their music, and they're living in the streets.
Yep.
So
Something
yeah,
wrong.
what?
Something wrong with this system.
Yeah, and there's people that was in good jobs where something went wrong. Anything could happen. Some people medical bill gets sick, you can't work, you lose everything. And there's people that just they doing drugs or whatever, and that led them there. It doesn't. It's all kinds of reasons, but you can't just be like, oh, they're all just losers, don't want to do anything drug. No, there's people from the military. There's people that every kind of person you can imagine out there, and it could be someone that you know or you. So I mean, that's off a subject a little, but it's the same kind of thing. Like people look like as long as it's not happening to me,
Yep.
it doesn't matter. As soon as it starts to affect me, all of a sudden it matters, right?
Yep.
That's a bullshit way to think.
Well, I think the other thing that this will be it'll be a bigger signal to people outside the United States probably than inside. But you remember about a week ago in San Francisco, that elderly Korean woman was attacked on the street, and
Is that the one with the board?
yeah,
Oh, I love her.
yeah. So there was a GoFundMe set up for her, and it has reached $900,000.
Nice. They're not
And her
charging her with anything, are they?
no,
Oh, good.
but
Okay.
her response is she wants that money to go to anti-racism groups in San Francisco.
That's
So this
awesome.
isn't, yeah. So I mean, this is a perfect picture of what exactly is fucked up in the United States. Here's a woman who was born on the other side of the world, came to America, by all accounts, has been a fine American, had kids, the whole thing. And yet she's willing to not say, wow, I finally won my personal lottery. Fuck all y'all. Give me that cash. I'm out. How many people in America would do that
Not
who say
many.
they are patriots? And yet this woman did it. That just, to me, that's the perfect picture of what's wrong with the US.
For all that money, does she at least get to be in the presence of somebody great like Trump or Biden for a dinner?
Well, it'll be interesting because this opens up the door to a lot of games. It'll be interesting to see if this woman just, maybe she takes 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever, go for it, and then just disappears, or if she's going to be willing to become part of the photo ops that are sure to happen, because I can see the mayor of San Francisco, who could certainly use some additional support from the Oriental community, from the Asian community. This is going to be interesting how this plays out, because it's the United States. There's mileage to be had. Get this woman on the phone, dangle stuff before her. It's going to get perverted. And it shouldn't, but America, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleaned that up. I was like, what? No, yeah, man, I love that video. She ready to bump that fool.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on a stretcher already. She looked like she got messed up really bad, but at the same time, her with that board, oh man, the cops was holding her back. She's awesome. I just wish she didn't have to go through that.
And the thing is, if she looked like Betty White, this would have been like way bigger. There's a reluctance to make that person who looks like that the hero they should be, if you're really so concerned about spreading a positive message.
Oh, yeah.
Because just imagine if it was some old white-haired white woman who beat that dude. Fuck, she'd be on The Tonight Show. She'd be on Kimmel.
Yeah.
But not this Korean woman.
Well, Glenn, I think now that we shamed them a little bit with the notoriety we have and the pool we have, I think she's going to be on these shows now.
Well, I'm curious what the pontiff thinks about it.
He thinks whatever we think, honestly. I'm just going to, should I let the cat out the bag? Because, when the Pope's like, I have a direct line to God and he speaks to me and all that, is us having like a little meeting on Skype. He thinks we're God. He doesn't know where the voices are coming from. And he's sleeping right now. That's why I can say this on the air.
Yeah.
We started late, so he missed the show. Poor Pope.
Oh, whatever. He's an old dude. He's got to keep a regular routine. It's not a problem. And I think his Skype account is actually Pontifex1 LOL. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Really.
Is that Smoker's new account?
I bet you somebody's going to check if that account exists on Skype. Maybe I will.
Hey,
somebody will squat it.
If not, purchase it.
Somebody will squat it. You know it. The first time I ever went on Twitch and I figured, okay, I'll make an account, somebody's squatting on Canadian Glenn. So I'm Canadian Glenn.
Are you interested in purchasing that?
Interesting development. Shit. Well, that's okay. I remember when that used to happen all the time on other platforms. So whatever. Like I said, I'm Canadian Glenn 1. So, whatever.
Huh.
You're undesignated. So fuck you. I'm the one.
You're the real Canadian Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. Oh, we got to do what? The
Sponsors.
Oh, hang on. Let me find the music. Give me 1 second.
Can't forget our sponsor.
There it is. My squeaky chair. Are you going to do the first sponsorship, Glenn, or should I? Because I'm just on the same OG wax. Oh, I just get my sponsor.
Well, you might as well finish it now.
Yeah, OG wax. And then don't know the strain I have. I keep getting this weird strain, but I don't know the name of it. I'm sure it's an OG though. I just don't know what it is. I gotta start look. I gotta get more information. See, I'm unprepared for the show.
The strain with no name, OG.
Yeah.
All right, well, I have a new sponsor today. Chiquita Banana. That is Banana OG and OG Kush. And this shit is bomb.
Yeah, that sounds so good. I think the music is way too loud. I think I fixed it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm marking it off for this. And next time I'll have it right from the get-go.
Okay.
Once I listen back, I'll say, oh, this is this one, and this is where it needs to be. So cool. Anything else we need to go over that we haven't gone over?
Well, yeah, maybe I want to say a little bit about something that I read on Substack today that comes from Distributed Email of Secrets, and specifically at NatSecGeek put this up. And it's an interesting little opinion piece. And there is a difference that is appearing, partially because of the lockdown, partially because of just a new push, a new influx of maybe a generation or just talent. But in many ways, 2020 and so far this year have seen more hacktivism and leaktivism than since going back to 2010 to 2012. But the difference is it's not so much that it's little independent groups like, LulzSec or those famous groups from back in the day. Now we have the US basically coming out and naming countries, state actors as the real enemies, even when that's not necessarily true. I mean, it might be because of their origin, but it's much more easy to talk about it out in the open, to kind of, because you know what's going to happen. They want another round where they tried to get us with SESTA and all the stuff from the past about how evil the internet is.
Yeah.
So, what they're talking about is a shift away from groups and hacker forums and stuff like that. And now it's become a nation state game. And they're naming, of course, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Iran, Russia, and China. Surprisingly, North Korea isn't on that list. I don't really know why. But I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's come out in the last little while, whether you want to talk about Parler or Gab or the SolarWinds hack or, anything. You have to admit, that's a lot of shit that we haven't seen come out in a while. And I'm just going to talk about one paragraph here. She said, 10 years ago, WikiLeaks fought censorship by making it easier to mirror their site and their leaks. Today, while Distributed Denial of Secrets faces the scrutiny of the U.S. government and continues to fight our server seizure, we're fighting censorship by making not just our data, but our model easy to mirror. Groups like DDoS Secrets can be dismantled if governments are truly determined to oppress and suppress the people, but were as easily replicated as the old anonymous model or the APT model. The world can no longer be rid of hacking or leaking as long as people are willing. So I think
Yeah.
that's an important statement for somebody who's in that ecosphere to make that statement. It's like we're going to be seeing more pressure. We're going to be seeing more threat level discussion to manufacture consent for more oppressive intelligence law. But we can win this. We're ahead of the game, just like we were back then. I mean, yeah, they're going to come down hard, like they're trying to take their servers and other things. But these groups are going to keep popping up like it's whack-a-mole now. Governments cannot control this anymore. And as she says, not as long as people are willing.
Information is power.
Especially the information they don't think we deserve to see.
Yeah. On every level, from local all the way to international.
Yep.
It could do a lot of good for the people. I often wonder if they'll start really doing things with internet, like shutting areas off when things jump
Well,
off, not just like local. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna let you all communicate. We're not gonna let you even be able to watch a video or do anything. We're gonna
yeah,
shut a
but I
whole area
mean,
down.
but that's happening somewhere on the world every day
Well, no,
already.
I'm saying here though. I know
Yeah.
that there's been whole countries that shut the internet down and still don't let it back up. But I'm saying, or have
Yep.
it really, really restricted. But yeah, I'm saying, will they start doing that here to punish people and do things in different areas? And you know what I mean?
Well, I think the one big advantage to if they start trying to do that in the US is the big difference between the US and a lot of other places is there are these completely privately traded monoliths that can accomplish a lot of things and not face the same consequences if the government did it. That's the danger in the US. If ATT wants to do something like that, how many reasons can they come up with that it happened? And how many questions are going to get asked? If the government says we told AT&T to do it, then it's never going to end. It's people are going to scream about that forever. It's going to go down in history. But if ATT somehow has a fuck up, what are the consequences when it serves the same goal?
Yeah.
That's what scares me about the way the States is set up. The government doesn't have to do things to fuck everybody over. They've got friends.
Yeah. People in the streets too just want to go and murder people for whatever reason. I mean, I'm sure certain branches of government are helping push certain agendas through on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
And they got their people that watch it, and I'm sure they know that there's a numbers game. A certain amount of people are going to go act violently and think they're doing good and attack other people. I mean, these people are never going and attacking the state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody ever attacks the state. Yeah, they went and attacked the Capitol building, but they were trying to do it for what they wanted to be the state. They wanted a certain branch of Republicans in there. It's like people don't do that for human rights, really.
Yeah. It seems it's only done for the goals of power,
Yeah.
not the people.
Like you go into a police station and smash stuff up and whatever because you're mad at the police. You're not taking over anything. If anything, you're trying to eliminate that. Like, we don't want these police anymore. We don't want a government anymore. We don't want oppressive people over us anymore. We want freedom. You go into a Capitol building trying to overthrow the government and install your dictator. That's a whole nother ball of wax right there. And see, these people
Yep.
can't seem to see the difference. That's what blows my mind.
Well, the first rule of Dunning-Kruger.
Oh, man. So,
I mean,
yeah.
this is the thing. I mean, this is how it happens. There are just people who are too determined to believe what they want to believe. That's it. There's no other way to describe it. They just want to believe what they want to believe
And
beyond reason.
things are getting technologically interesting too right now. I know we got to wrap this up soon, but they got the deep fakes technology getting better and better. Like, it's almost indistinguishable now, right?
Yep.
I'm sure with certain equipment you can distinguish it still. I'm not positive of that, but I believe that to be the case. But yeah, who's to say some politician of any country dies or something, then all of a sudden, who's in power? You're going to still see that person. You know, they can make it look like that person's on a stage in front of people, right?
Well, I mean, that's already run through Q anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, there were Q people that were videoed, and that were making posts that were saying Biden's not really in Washington. He's in like a fucking building in Maryland, and it's all a fucking green screen, and they've already been through all that shit.
Yeah, but then you also have to worry about other people with agendas, like whoever's doing things like that Q thing. They have access to that technology.
Oh yeah.
If they do, they could start saying, oh, look, here's JFK Jr. now, giving the secrets out. And they don't even have to have him look real because he's, just age somebody. They could probably find an actor, just, mesh the face a little somewhere. They thought some dude with a beard at their thing was him, who looked nothing like him. They're crazy, man.
I think it was Elvis. This is the thing. This is Quantum National Enquirer. That's all this is.
Quantum National.
That's all this shit is. And there's an appetite for it, just like there was an appetite for the check stand gossip rags. Same goddamn thing. Except it just used to be about show business and the soaps. Now it's about politics. It's about everything.
What's funny is I sometimes, when I got time to relax and chill, I watch crazy, insane YouTube videos, like conspiracy theory. They're funny to me. Like, I don't know how anyone watches this stuff and believes them. But then you go onto like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and there's people saying things really similar, like they believe it to be the truth.
Yep.
It's like, well, and then you look at the comments in these. Praise Jesus, this guy's speaking the truth, and it's about somebody selling their soul to the devil and all that, whatever. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I don't know if they took it from the QAnon or the QAnon took it from this, but I see all these little intertwined things in it.
Well, of course. I mean, this is the other thing too, with the reach and the ease of getting this information into people's face. I mean, this is just, again, this is like I said a couple shows ago, to this day, the best advertising you can hope for any product is word of mouth. If somebody tells you that product X is a good product, that is the best promotion there is. Now it's quantum word of mouth. Except you don't really know who's saying it, but you think you do.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to get to the point where there's no way you can trust anything you see as far as online, like this person in a secret room doing some backroom deal, or this person cheating on his life, or this celebrity's gay or whatever, and it's all just made up pretense stuff to slander or attack or help or boost somebody's status or whatever it's for. You know what I mean? It might be their own
Well,
publicist doing things to keep them in the public spotlight. I don't know, but I'm saying it's just. I wonder if that's the case. I wonder if it's going to get to the point where there's just so much garbage. It'll be really hard to distinguish from what's real and not when you're looking at videos supposedly shot secretly or shot, just whatever, any videos.
well, I mean, there are some people that say the only reason that that's not already the case is because technology has advanced too fast to be manipulated that well. And when you ask if will that day come, well, here's a quote for you. We'll know our disinformation program is
Yep.
complete when everything the American public believes is false. William Comey, CIA Director, 1981.
Yep.
So, is there support for a world like that? You damn rights there is. For a lot of different reasons. So,
Man, they're going to try to make a video with me and Smoker doing weird stuff. And I'd sell them the real one for $250. You don't have to worry about deep fakes with me and Smoker. So anything else, Glenn, or we got to wrap it up?
No, I got nothing.
Okay. So thank you, Glenn. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your sponsorship, Smoker. And thank you for doing all that union work, Celeb. And we'll hopefully be back next week. And that's about that, if I can shut everything off.